the Obsessive Scammer, the O.C.G, and I'm back playing more of Tomb Raider 4. Okay. Let me make sure I'm live. Okay, I am indeed. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Hopefully that didn't kill me.
No.
No. Bitch, tell me no, I'll fucking kill you, Laura! I know I'm supposed to basically get there, but it's like... Oh boy. And that's why we save. Alright, it's good to see you, Beach War. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I played Tomb Raider Legend a lot growing up, and those games, and I got into those, but I could never really get into the classic Tomb Raider games. I just couldn't get into the tank controls. Like, I'll defend the tank controls for Resident Evil, because they were designed with the fixed camera angles like the classic Resident Evil, but I couldn't really defend the camera angles for Tomb Raider. Like, I will defend the tank controls for Resident Evil to my dying breath. Because that game has fixed camera angles that rapidly shift. So, if the camera's here, and up is up, then it switches here, up is now left. So by keeping it tank controls, you always know where you're going. So they actually had a reason. But Tomb Raider always had a 3D camera, you know what I mean? So I liked the idea of the Tomb Raiders. The old ones, but I never played them. I tried over the years, I just couldn't get into them. And these remastered collections are what got me into Tomb Raider. And I would say, you know, you should check them out if you ever get a chance. Because they're on Switch, both of them are. Because you can switch between the old graphics and the new graphics instantly, which is cool. But so, this is the old controls. See, she can't move backwards. Unless she's hopping backwards, she turns on a pivot. You move with square. Or you jump, I'm sorry, you jump with square. Okay? But then they all have a modern control scheme. So much better. So, and plus, in the remaster collections, you can save and load at any time. Whereas in the original game, saving could be limited. So, that combined with the modernized controls make me get into the older Tomb Raider games. Yeah, exactly. The saving combined with the better controls has actually made me get into the Tomb Raider games, classic ones, and I really love them now, actually. Like, I actually am become a pretty big fan of classic Tomb Raider, which I never thought would happen, but I have. And all 6 of these, because they're in 2 collections, 1 through 3 remastered, 1 through 6 remastered, all 6 of those are on Switch, by the way. And I think they run at 60 FPS, like, they run good. I mean, as you hope, because at their core, they're fucking PS1 games, even with upscale graphics. So, And they're $30 a pop. They're $30 a pop, so you're basically paying $30 for 3 games and the DLC for 3 games. So value-wise, hard to beat that. You know what I mean? And that was like brand new. They're $30, so I'm sure you could get them on sale for even cheaper. So they're priced very well. Getting all 6 of them, you only spend $60, which is still less than you spend for a brand new game now. You know what I mean? So they're newcomer friendly and they're content. Plus, if you actually like these games, they're actually pretty fucking long. Like they're a lot longer than you think. It took me like 15 hours to go through the first Tomb Raider my first time. I will say this, though, if you decide to play these games, you should definitely use a guide if you get stuck, because there are some parts of these games that are really fucking cryptic. And some people, guides, you're a pussy of these guides. I'm not one of those people. And in fact, for me, if I get stuck on something too long in a game... Yeah, exactly. I'm one of those people where if I'm stuck on something for too long, I'll just lose interest in the game. You know what I mean? I don't like to be sitting there, where the fuck do I go? So for me, it's a choice of, do I keep playing this game and look up a guide, or do I just give up? And I'd rather look at the guide. And this game is incredibly cryptic for these times, so... Fuck. But, these games, there are parts of these games that are fucking phenomenal. And I really do understand why people like them now. Like, they have some of the best atmosphere in any game you'll play. Like, they really... I'm trying to figure out how to say it. They really give you that feeling of isolation, of quiet. Not where nothing's happening, but just that sense of you're in a tomb in a forgotten part of the world. And there are parts where the atmosphere, you can cut it with a knife. Yeah, I like the newer games as well, don't get me wrong. I pretty much like and played all of these. I've owned and beaten all 3 of the new ones. Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They're good for different reasons, you know what I mean? Because they change up the formula. Which, I mean, of course, with the series that goes as long as this, you kind of have to change up the formula. Or die. And most importantly, they still felt like Tomb Raider. And, but no, I was talking about, like, the atmosphere is so great, okay? So this game actually has one of the most epic plots in Tomb Raider. This is the 4th game. Excuse me. This is 4th game. And, Laura accidentally releases the God of Darkness set. So she's literally trying to stop a fucking god in this game. So the stakes are significantly higher. And as she goes through the game, it gets progressively worse. Like, at the beginning of the game, it's clear blue skies. By the end of the game, you have this evil red shit because the God of Set's getting closer and closer to coming back and killing everybody. But, you go to this level in Cairo. Yeah, exactly. You go to this level in Cairo, and they call the city the dead, because when you get there, the dead are rising, and locusts and shit are coming, like the Egyptian plagues are basically being visited upon the land as he gets close to revival. And you go there, and it's like it's this city. It's an urban area, but it's an Egyptian city, and the streets are barren, and there's a fucking green sky with lightning overhead, and you get the feeling like, wow, Laura really fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And like the atmosphere in that level is just super impressive. Actually, hold on one second. Yeah, I can hop back to that level real briefly. See what I mean? Green sky, dark city streets. It really gets, you know, the vibe like, oh shit, we have fucked up. Of course, Laura didn't know she was going to wake the god. And this game also has a feature that makes retrying really quick and painless. Okay, so if you hit the touchpad or select if you're playing on Switch or whatever, and you click the right stick, quick saves instantly without interrupting the game. And if you do the same with the left stick, quick loads. Like that it cuts down so much frustration because you can literally pretty much save fucking instantly without interrupting the game at all. And I really wish more games did that. It's pretty much the best implementation of quick saving and loading I've ever seen. And the combat's kind of basic. Don't get me wrong. Like, the combat in these games was never the draw. Even when these games came out, the combat was just considered, So, you know, but the combat was never the point. You know what I mean? The combat was just there to, I guess, have danger be there and be a valid threat. Ah, fuck. Yeah, these fucking zombies are the worst. Or mummies or whatever. I'm sorry, 1 second. You can't kill them unless you have explosive rounds. Thankfully I do. And fuck them, but yeah. Early on in the game, you literally have to fucking run. Like, no, it's a mummy. Oh no. Plus, funny coincidence. And I think it is a coincidence because it happened so close that it couldn't really be anything else. But this game came out in '99 originally, so the same year as The Mummy. And yeah, they both involve ancient Egyptian creature being loosed upon the world getting plagues. And like I said, this game was in development for many years, and so was the movie, so I just genuinely believe it was a weird coincidence. Which I actually really do love the Brendan Fraser Mummy. I pretty much like all of them. I know people don't like the other ones as much, but I like them. I thought The Mummy 2 was pretty good. And I even like the Scorpion King. But that guy, he did a lot of movies that I think are underappreciated. That same guy who did The Mummy did the Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman, and that movie got fucking torn a new asshole by critics, but I fucking love that movie. I do not care what anyone says. Like, ooh, it's cheesy. Yeah. Yeah. It was fucking supposed to be. Like, the whole thing is a fucking throwback to fucking Universal horror movies. Yeah, of course. It's supposed to be cheesy. Honestly, I love Hugh Jackman in general. That may be a cliched opinion. I know everybody loves Hugh Jackman, but really, I can't think of a single role he was bad in. Like, even if you don't like the movie, I still feel like he gives his all in every performance he's in. And even movies that people hate of his, I like. Swordfish, I know everybody rinsed that movie a new asshole. I like Swordfish. Once again, I thought it was cheesy, over-the-top fun. It wasn't gonna win a fucking Oscar, but I liked it for what it was. Oh my god. See, dude? Now you're my fucking hero, man, because The Fountain is one of my favorite movies of all time ever. I fucking love that movie. It's a movie that honestly, well, if you're me anyway, keeps you guessing until the end. Ah, fuck. Uh, and then it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I remember the first time I watched that movie, it clicked. Like, the whole movie, you're like, what the fuck is happening? And then at the very end of the movie, you're like, oh. And then, like, you have to rewatch the movie because then you understand it. Like, it's a movie that begs for rewatches. In general, I actually love Darren Aronofsky. He's such an underrated director. Requiem for a Dream made me cry like a little bitch. I like, oh my god, in that movie makes me sob fucking uncontrollably. And it takes a lot for a movie to make me emotional, but holy fuck, even after all this time, that ending to that movie breaks my fucking heart. I mean, it hits so hard. And then he did The Fountain, obviously. He did The Wrestler, which revitalized Mickey Rourke's career, and is great. Black Swan, yeah. And then well, hey, we kind of actually looped around because Darren Aronofsky is the guy who did The Whale, that basically revitalized Brendan Fraser's career. David Fincher is another director I love. Seven, of course. God, I love Seven. Fight Club. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Airheads. Wow. It's been a while since I mentioned that. Yeah. George of the Jungle, he was great in. Brendan Fraser's pretty much been great in everything. Even if you don't like the movie. Like, that's the thing. Like, there are actors who, even if it's a bad movie, they're giving their all, and that's Brendan Fraser. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's never given a shit performance. So even if you don't like the movie, he is so great in it. But yeah, David Fincher. I love David Fincher. He did Seven, Fight Club, which I fucking love. Oh shit. Can I actually kill this guy or? The Zodiac Killer, fucking phenomenal film. Okay, I can actually damage him. Some of these you can't. And his Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Oh my god, I fucking love that movie. I was fucking devastated that they weren't gonna make a sequel. Like they planned it for it to be a sequel. To this day, I have no idea why they never made a sequel. What, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? Or the Zodiac Killer? Oh, yeah. That was a great cover. Yeah. That movie also had a really great cover at the end of the movie when she's walking out into the cold that I really liked. But no, okay. So what I mean is that was always intended to be a trilogy. Okay? They all signed on for 3 movies. Everybody did. All the main cast anyway that come back. David Fincher signed on for 3 movies. The movie was critically acclaimed. The movie made a bunch of money at the box office, okay? And then for some reason, Sony passed on a sequel. And I have no fucking idea why. You know what I mean? The movie got rave reviews. It made a ton of money. They all signed contracts for 3, so it just does not make sense that they would not do the rest of them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like Sony, but some of their decisions are fucking garbage. Some of their choices had me saying, what? Like, they're fucking Spider-Man films. Okay? All of their Spider-Man movies that are not directly Spider-Man related fucking suck. Their Venom movies suck, and I say that as somebody who loves Tom Hardy. I'm talking about the writing. It's nothing like Venom in the comic books. Fucking nothing. The fucking Madam Web was just so fucking bad. I haven't seen it, but I've heard the Kraven the Hunter movie sucks, which actually breaks my heart because I love Aaron Taylor Johnson, but you can't save a shit movie. And it's like every time they try to do something that is not fucking Spider-Man, like his villains, this sucks. Mobius, like how the fuck do you make a Jared Leto starring vampire film bad? Like, I mean, that should be an excuse to print money. Jared Leto was fucking born to play a vampire. Yeah. I mean, they managed to make Matt Smith suck. How do you do that? He's like one of the best fucking Doctor Who's. He is my dad's favorite Doctor Who, actually. Him and, I'm not sure how fluent you are on Doctor Who, but for my dad, it's Tom Baker from the classic series. So my dad's been watching Doctor Who since the beginning, and Matt Smith from the new one. For me, underrated opinion, but I really like. Yeah, that's fair. I grew up watching the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Only like it's a bit of a controversial opinion, but I really like Christopher Eccleston as Doctor Who. I know that like he only had 1 season and he's underrated. I thought he fucking nailed it. And after that, it's David Tennant, who David Tennant is just consistently such a great actor. It's cliched, but, you know, I can't help it. David Tennant is fucking... The Doctor is the shit. Although I will say it does get kind of frustrating for me, because I feel like David Tennant has done so many great roles that don't get recognized. Like, of course he kills it as the Doctor, but man, he's done a lot of great fucking films outside of that. Like, he was, like, one of the only fucking people... Yeah, well, I would go watch the old ones, and I would watch the new ones up until, like, season 9, and then I'd quit. They, for a long, long, long time, they were fucking great. The new ones. And then fucking Stephen Moffat, the guy who left, it was the showrunner left, and Russell T Davies left, and it was for a good reason. His partner had cancer. So I can't blame you. But after he left, fucking Chris Chibnall took over, and he's the one that made it, where it was more about the politics than the entertainment. You know? So, for example, I don't believe that any entertainment should be political. By the way, like, and I'm not talking about just my politics. I don't think any of it should be political. Entertainment's supposed to entertain. And I'm not talking about having a political message, mind you. Okay? Like, you can have political themes in your writing and all that shit, okay, without beating somebody over the head with it, if that's what I'm talking about. Okay, like, look at Bioshock. Bioshock had a ton of political shit in it. Didn't beat you over the fucking head with it. But regardless, so, Stephen Moffat's a gay man. He's openly gay. But he never made it about the politics. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't care that he's gay. I'm saying, like, you know? And then fucking Chris Chibnall took over, and all of a sudden, suddenly, it became about the politics. When Doctor Who should in no way, shape, or form be about fucking politics. At all. Ever. Fucking period. And then they finally have a openly gay Doctor, okay? And then they make him being gay like the whole part of his personality. Like, I remember seeing one of his first episodes. I forget what his name. Nuktigawa. He's actually a great actor, by the way. He's not gay, but he's a great actor. Or maybe he is gay? I don't know. I don't care. He's a great actor, okay? But the newest Doctor, the first gay Doctor, does fucking show tunes. I'm like, are you kidding me? You have a gay Doctor and you're trying to have representation and you make him do the most stereotypically gay thing imaginable? Like, what? Like, I can't be the only person who thinks that's on the fucking nose. Like, he's the first black Doctor. He's the first black Doctor. Are we gonna have him talk about chicken? Because that would be on par. Since we're doing the most stereotypical shit. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not gonna go into rant about that. I'll be here all day. Like I said, it's ruined a lot of entertainment, a lot of movies, a lot of shit, because we have things made by people who no longer like them. We have Star Wars movies written by people that don't like Star Wars. Like, Disney, Star Wars, the good stuff is the exception that proves the rule. Yeah, well, you know, I don't... See, I don't even think that that's the problem. I mean, yeah, it kind of is to a certain degree because it's oversaturated. But I don't even think that's the problem, really, because uh, Star Wars is a big enough universe that there is room there to do all these shows. Like, you know, there's so many fucking characters in Star Wars that it does lend itself more to like a series and shit like that. Uh, More than a lot of properties would, because they only have so much shit. Obviously, because Skywalker movies are about Skywalkers. So I'm not against that idea, but it's like, uh, they don't like Star Wars, and they just don't have a good idea of what Star Wars was. Like, they managed to make fucking Boba Fett lame. How the fuck do you make a show about Boba Fett fucking lame? Even the actor for Boba Fett, Tamora Morrison, was like, this is shit, and said he tried to talk them out of a lot of that stuff, but obviously couldn't. And it's like some of this shit is like, how? How do you fucking, like, you have to wonder. Oh, I get it, okay. Like, how this shit got greenlit, you know, because certain times, a little bit. I will say that not Tomb Raider, what am I saying? I will say Clone Wars, or Attack of the Clones, is probably my least favorite George Star Wars movie. Overall, I still like it. I don't think it's a bad movie, but yeah, out of all of them, it's probably the weakest George one. Um, but, uh, give me 1 second. I will be right back. Oh, it's getting starting, okay. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me open up the app to see all what you said. Fucking YouTube is done like that. Oh man, don't tell me that, dude. Don't tell me that, man. Dude, okay, you gotta rectify that, bro. Episode 3 is so fucking great. Okay? Like, oh my god. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars movie, period. And your mileage may vary, but goddamn, I love that fucking movie. Of course, don't, like, I don't want you to feel forced or anything like that. I'm just saying I fucking love it. Like, it really pays for all. I actually really like the Phantom Menace, though. I know that's an unpopular opinion. I know Jar Jar sucks, and I won't argue Jar Jar sucking, but if you look past that, there's a lot of really great shit in that fucking... Uh, there's a lot of really, really great shit in Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon Jinn, man, one of my all-time favorite Jedis, fucking Liam Neeson killed that role. Darth Maul, I think, is a fucking phenomenal villain. And I think, like, even people that hate on the Phantom Menace can agree that the final fight between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul is gotta be one of the all-time fucking great Star Wars battles. Like, that entire fucking fight scene gives me goosebumps. The fucking music, Duel of the Fates, the fucking cinematography. God, so fucking great. Oh! Like, I won't defend fucking Jar Jar. I just, and if people can get past the fucking Ewoks in episode 6, they can deal with Jar Jar. Misa, so happy to see you, Andy! Plus the pod race was fucking dope. There's a reason why they made, like, multiple games based off the pod racing, because it was cool as shit. Okay, and nobody will say... People say they don't like the Ewoks, but they won't say it ruins episode 6. So if the Ewoks don't ruin episode 6, then Jar Jar doesn't ruin episode 1. And the Ewoks, once again, are pretty central to the fucking plot. So it's not like they were like, oh, a little thing. And honestly, I think Jar Jar's maybe in 20 minutes of the movie. He's not in the vast majority of it. Okay. Plus, I mean, oh my god, man, fucking... Ewan McGregor crushed it as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, holy shit. Honestly, like, I think he fucking surpassed Alec Guinness. Because he did the role more often, and he actually liked the role. I like Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan, don't get me wrong, but he was a fucking prick to the fans. Yeah, exactly. And it breaks my heart, too. I hate it when somebody's mean to them. And I mean, in some regards, I understand why Alec Guinness was pissed off, because he came up in Westerns, and he didn't really want to do Star Wars. He was just on the down throws of his career. And that's what he became known for. So it's like his legacy was defined by something that he didn't like. Okay? But, like, he was a fucking asshole to the fans. And that's the part I don't get. Like, I understand if you're not thrilled about the fucking role, but, like, there's stories of, like, him telling little kids not to like Star Wars, and it's like, dude, don't be a prick. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I draw the line. Like, if you don't like the role, cool. But don't, these are still people supporting you, man. Don't be a chode. Whereas Ewan McGregor was a Star Wars fan to begin with, and has consistently been super awesome to the fans. So in my opinion, he is Obi-Wan. One of the rare cases where a later actor basically owned the role, in my opinion. Because usually it's like the first will always be synonymous. But I think at this point, Ewan McGregor is more synonymous with Obi-Wan than Alec McGuinness ever was. I need to watch the full Obi-Wan show. My dad, I had mixed feelings because I liked Ewan. I liked Hayden returning, Hayden Christensen, but I'm so burned by Disney. But my dad told me that he thought it was phenomenal, and I generally listen to my father when it comes to Star Wars things, being he's a fucking OG fan. And he told me, he's like, the show is worth watching just for the scenes with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen again. And I will agree, like, I don't know if you've seen Obi-Wan. But the fucking, I saw bits of the final confrontation with Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it gave me fucking goosebumps. Because they're, like, fighting in this dark cavern. And it's really cool because they actually made lightsabers that light up. Okay? In almost every other Star Wars movie, that sucks. In almost every Star Wars property, the lightsabers don't really light up. They add it in post. But for Obi-Wan, they actually made lightsabers that actually light up in the dark. And I think that's such a cool touch. So, like, they're actually being lit up in the dark, fighting, and it's like they're in a dark cave. And Obi-Wan slashes across Vader's face, and it cuts off one of the eyes in his mask. So you can see his red Anakin eye, okay? And his voice respirator gets fucked up. So you can hear him talking with Darth Vader's voice, but they actually have Hayden Christensen's voice coming through. Like, they layer them. And he's sitting there looking at Obi-Wan. You can, like I said, you can see his fucking red eye popping through, and he's like, he says, I am not your failure. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I need to watch the whole show, but I saw that and I got goosebumps. It's like, fuck. Like, for me, like, I saw that, I'm like, okay, my dad's probably right about that. I'm like, just for that alone, I want to see this show. And apparently it's like they have a pretty badass duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin. It's not like a footnote, like they have a pretty substantial final fight. And some people are like, oh, it breaks canon. But not really, it doesn't. I mean, I'm the first person who would get on Disney for that. But he says, in A New Hope, he says, no, that's somebody I haven't seen in many years. He doesn't specify how many years it's been. You know what I mean? And so, this is 9 years before Episode 4. So, it still fits with the, it's been many years, you know what I mean? Like, that's one of those places where I feel like it's okay to bend canon. Because it doesn't technically contradict anything. And I still feel like 9 years, if you hadn't seen somebody in almost 10 years, you're like, oh, it's been a while. You know what I mean? So I'm okay with bending the canon like that. Because, like I said, it's not explicitly stated. And like I said, it resulted in us getting more fucking screen time with Vader and Obi-Wan, which I will not complain about. Ever. Also, there's a rumor that going around that they're gonna do a Darth Vader Obi-Wan show, or not Darth Vader. I'm sorry, Darth Vader Disney show. God, let that be the case, and that it would have Hayden Christensen. Like, fuck, let that be the case. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny too because some of the reactions people gave it were like, oh, they already have enough stuff focusing on Anakin. He had the whole series. Okay, this is Darth Vader. Okay, and while we've had a lot of stuff showing Anakin, we have not had anything live action from Darth Vader's point of view. Ever. Once he becomes Darth Vader, they strictly move to showing him in third person. Outside of a couple scenes, where he's talking to the Empire. But we haven't had any fucking, like a live action show or movie showing Darth Vader's perspective. Okay? So that's not like done to death territory. There is a valid place for that. And with all the crazy shit that Darth Vader did over the fucking years, like, there are so many stories and shit they could draw inspiration from. And cool moments they could have. So I am totally fucking down for a Darth Vader show. Yes! And I mean, it makes sense. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. My aunt made a large noise. And I wanted to make sure she's okay. She's fine. She just got startled. My kids ran outside. I didn't know that. I want to make sure she's okay. Better safe than sorry. And at first I wasn't sure it was her. I was like, what the fuck is that? And now I gotta let my cat in. She's pawing at the door. Jesus. Oh, yeah, Dash Rendar. Yeah, that would be great. No, she's fine. She was just startled by kids outside. They're kids that are loud and noisy. It's Saturday night, so they ran past the door and startled her. So she's like, ah! And I just, heard her shouting, and I'm like, I had to make sure she's okay. I have pretty good hearing, so at first I wasn't sure it was her. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? And now she's fine. I'm gonna take 2 Tylenol. I have a fucking headache. This weather makes my sinuses fucked up, and that fucks up my head. Yeah, no, she's fine. I'm just saying, if you're like sitting there and randomly hear one of your family members fucking shout, you're like, what the fuck? Okay. It's we live in an apartment complex, and it's the weekend, you know what I mean? So kids get rowdy. Nothing really much you can do about it, unfortunately. Them damn kids! Oh, he's causing a ruckus, trying to play my Tomb Raider. Leave me alone. Yeah. You know what we're all living in? We're all living in a society. Cute Joker music. Oh, there you go. I tell them to keep it down, but you know kids, they don't fucking listen. Jesus. That sucks. Yeah. People only want to do the bare minimum, unfortunately. Let's see. Bag of sand. All right, man. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you when I see you. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow if you're free. Stop by whenever you can. Yeah. Say bye, Echo. Bye. Damn it, Mittens. We talked about this. You have a problem. You need an intervention. Aren't they all? Aren't they all, though? It's like, I wouldn't put up with half your shit if you weren't so cute, damn it. Ah, that's funny. Yeah, my cat scratches me, but she does it because she loves me. I get out of line, you know. She's just looking out for me. Yeah, trust me. I have scars all over my arm from her. I love my cat, but sometimes I want to kick her ass. All right, man. Yeah. Like I said, I'll be around. This layout of this place is fucking confusing. Jesus. Ugh. Sorry, gotta fucking fly my drink. I'm gonna end this part right here. I'll be back now. Thank you for watching.